And good morning. You're flying the very unfriendly skies with Tironan, where every other person wants to kill you and kill you repeatedly. Now, what do we have here? Well, we have a brand new toy to look at, ladies and gentlemen. And what we have here is the IL-40. Yeah, this time has come. All right, this puppy is not accurate at all. Well, it was in the first version. And here is your aircraft, capable of carrying about 2,000 pounds of bombs, about a ton, in its final configuration. And you'll notice again that the aircraft wings are now swept at 35 degrees. You have your fences installed, and that is to prevent, well, it's an attempt to deal with airfoils approaching the sound barrier, and the first attempts to deal with area rule. And what happens is when you get going this fast, the air begins to act like a liquid, and it will start flowing here and then spread over the entire length of the wing, um, and that produces problems. All right, so what about this aircraft is disturbing me? Well, this aircraft, actually, it may be before I go shooting off a mouth. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so what was I going on about? Okay, as the aircraft sat here, it was very successful from the outset, from the very beginning. Worked really well, and then they fired the guns. And you'll notice where the guns are positioned and where the intakes are positioned. And it's by far not the only aircraft that had this problem, but if you fired so much as 5 or 10 rounds out of these guns, the engines would immediately ingest smoke and the engines will flame out. And you will proceed to have a significant emotional event, as a certain gentleman on the internet has pointed out. Okay. This was another strange pick by the World of Warplanes crew, but why do I say that? Well, you had a development version that came out, prototype, made a couple of those, and then they figured out the problem with the guns, and they immediately went to another design. They ended up having to redesign it twice, actually. So when you go look at the IL-40P, you'll notice a little difference here. You'll notice the air intakes are all the way at the front, and that's because the guns were moved back behind the rear fuselage. And you'd say, well, why did somebody do something like that? Well, that's because of gas ingestion. And they strengthened the fuselage. They put a bigger engine into it. These two engines, the engines produced about just shy of 5,000 pounds of thrust. And you'll probably see that on the first engine. And yeah, this is the thrust with afterburner. And they put a bigger engine in it. And then you go down to the P. And you'll notice the thrust, this is actually more close to the truth. All right, well, not poking fun of them. It was a good aircraft, but about the time that they were ready to produce these, they made a design. There was nothing wrong with the aircraft. It was perfectly usable. The only real problem with the aircraft, once they redesigned the air intakes into the nose and moved the guns back underneath the tail wheel, so they would be sitting right under here, was that the center of gravity was just slightly off, a little bit too far to the rear. It was no big deal. It was so minor they didn't bother dealing with it. And now you're looking at this contraption in the back. And what is this thing? Well, what you have here is a turret that can go up to 55 degrees up, 45 degrees, or 40 degrees down, and quite a bit to the side to side. I forget about you. Total of the dimensions there. But all in all, a pretty neat aircraft. Well, they only produce 5, and the reason is not that there's anything wrong with the aircraft. It's a perfectly usable aircraft and a long step over the IL-10, which was the actual aircraft used before that. So why didn't we get it? Well, a couple of issues here. And the biggest issue was nuclear bombs came out, and the Soviets had developed their own nuclear weapon, and they decided, rather than have these, we'll build aircraft to deliver nuclear weapons as part of the nuclear war scenario. Okay, so they essentially just trashed all these and went on. But a neat looking aircraft. But again, if it's not a main production aircraft, you know, makes you wonder why they did it. All right, the upgrades. We do get a couple of free upgrades. I went to the two 500-pound bombs because, call me funny, but 4 100-pound or 200-pound bombs, whatever these are. I'm sorry, what do we got here before I make a total ass out of us? 2 1,000-pound bombs. And what you have here are 200 kilogram or 200 pound, 200 kilogram, 220 pound bombs here. And you have 4 of them. Well, yeah. So we just bought those and then went straight on and got the next one. We're going to have to wait for the TRS 132s. You actually have to get some cash together for that. And we are stuck with the base cannon. And if you know much about these aircraft, the only thing you're going to want to get in relation to this, and I don't consider it all that important in these aircraft, you already got a speed of 360, if I'm reading right. Yeah. When you come up and you get the new engine, it goes up to 379. In an attack aircraft, speed is not your friend. A lot of times. I find myself whenever I'm going to spend any amount of time over a target, I quickly, I'm hitting flaps and hitting my S key and slowing down because you're counting on your guns. Okay. And you do get the freebie upgrade where you get the 6 NR-23Cs instead of the, well, hopefully there's a difference, or I just spent money on nothing. Yeah, it's up a little bit in damage per second. I doubt these are going to be very good against armored targets, but occasionally somebody runs across your front nose or you're having to deal with other attack aircraft, and it should prove worthy of that. Now, I haven't flown the aircraft, so I'm talking out my rear side until we get some experience with it. The plan here is to get the bigger rockets, of course, and anytime you can go up from 1,300 to 2,000 points per rocket, pretty darn good. And you got more than a few. 8 of those puppies from the look of it. Yeah. And you got 12 that kind of makes up for it. This is going to, however, make a very large difference to you. Okay, there's a lot of aircraft out there that really hit hard at Tier 9, and I've shot down enough of these to know just how much you need that rear gunner. Okay, so when you eventually end up with the chain here, you start off at 168, which is barely adequate. You're going to go to 192, which is going to help some, and then you're going to end up at 208 with the AM-23 cannon. And so my goal will probably be to get the rockets because those are your primary function, and then go to your cannon. All right, everything else is already upgraded. Didn't cost me any additional experience, and I'm ready to take this puppy out and see what it can do. Now, I have flown the IL-20 so long, you'd think I was all broke up. Well, I wasn't. The IL-20 is a great aircraft, but by the time I finished all the upgrades and then all the experience to get to the IL-20, folks, I was done with it. So maybe someday I'll change my mind and I'll go buy one again. But I ain't recommending that you hold your breath till I do it. I've played that thing long enough, hard enough, and got all the use out of it I want. So I'm hoping this will be a nice upgrade. I will tell you from my experience with World of Warplanes, not every plane in the upper tier is necessarily an upgrade. I fell dearly in love with the LA9, and then I got the LA 160, and I'm just now beginning to learn how to use it. And my opinion will probably change over time, but as it sits right now, I'm just not the happiest camper in the world with that thing, and a lot of it's got to do with just having to suck in on the guns a little bit and learn how to use them better. And that's on me, by the way. It's not a World Warplanes issue, I don't think. But me and those top end guns are just not working out so hot at the moment.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
And I got a decent bomb load on this. The guns should be at least good for, if nothing else, for taking out soft targets. They better be. I know I haven't got a whole lot of other uses for them. One bomb will absolutely destroy a medium installation. That's good news. So I'll help a little bit with the airbase. It should give me an opportunity to test my tail gunner, see where I'm at with him, how bad it's going to be. This is a test run, folks. This is not a all-out battle for me. I gotta say though, I do love the maneuverability of this aircraft a lot. Certainly a nice change from where I was at. The flaps. Pick up what I didn't kill the last time around. Made a little bit of a dent here. Let's see if we can't finish up with this. Guys, gonna have to bring new roofing tiles. Okay, let's see if we can use this gun a little bit. Okay, we have some rockets. So we're going to have to go back and recapture bases. I hate having to do that. You'd think. Oh yeah, never mind. Anyway. We just redo it again. Job security, right? Alright, we're out of rockets. We're out of bombs, I should say. Alright, that gets us our base back. And one thing I do need to find out is what the actual reload time with this is, and I think you'd want to know too. It won't crash. Okay. That should put paid to this. Yes. Got confirmation that one of these 1,000-pounders is more than enough for that. Okay. It's not crashing into the little pylons. I know you guys like seeing me crash, but we're going to try to avoid it this once. That's okay with y'all. And I still managed to hold on to a couple of useless rockets. Now that's real bright of me. Let's drop these 2 rockets right in between these 2 hard points. Try to pick up some additional damage here. Now, you do have some maneuverability in this. I'm not going to be a fighter for any man beams, but you can, you have some guns. You can actually use it to give them a bit of a fit. Why not? Yeah, let's not hit the cliffs. Might look spectacular, but it's embarrassing. Sorry to spoil y'all's fun, but you know how it is. Okay, have a couple of guns left on, or bombs now. Persistent. Okay. I should take care of that. And we have our base. All right. And let's see, we've done our usual bang-up job while I was busy with this.
Turn back. The enemy force is too strong.
All right. This looked like it was a pretty successful run. We destroyed 12 ground targets, 65, 7, my top score is about 75,000 points. I got 14 bases that time. But this is, first run, not bad. Destroyed 2 enemy targets. Damaged aerial targets wasn't even bad. Got a summary here. So we got a couple of rear covers. Avalanche, Self-Defense Master, and came in number 1. We'll look at the team score here. And the fellow that shot me down was with that 152, and the way he did that was he got tired of getting chewed up by the turret, came above me. and where the turret couldn't reach. So bravo to him for knowing his job. All right, let's give this one more run, make sure we know what the hell we're talking about here. That wasn't a fluke. Came awfully close to winning that with the team had been a little bit more on it, I think. And it is a lot of fun to fly so far, I've got to admit. Which kind of bodes well because you spend an awful lot of time in ground attack aircraft, especially going from 9 to 10. And it looks like there's about, we'll go back over the upgrade path one more time for the total upgrades. Not going to be as bad as IL-10, I think, but the the rear turrets were not looking cheap when I was checking them out. And I do apologize for the waits, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do much about it, though. Okay, so let's, this looks like this will be a fun target. You got 2 mining plants and a garrison.
Attention. You are entering the combat
And
zone.
the first question I have for myself is, will those bombs take out the big plant in the, since they're 1,000-pounders, planted right, they might just take out the entire deal with just 2 bombs. There's that big mining plant with the 4 pipes that we're all disgustingly aware of. And it's got me pointed right at the mining base. I guess we'll take a,
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
maybe we'll even get somebody to come with us. We can wreak what havoc we will. About the only use I've got for boost on a ground attack aircraft is getting to the target better and faster. Other than that, don't got that much use for it. Because the first thing I do is hit flaps, slow and start slowing down. Now I do miss my 57 millimeters. I will tell you that right now. No problem at all. And we do have a bomb. Let's put it right in the center and see what it does. Well, that's handy. Alright, we're going to plant the second bomb right between in the middle of that building and try to take out as much as we can with blast damage. Maybe I just missed or something. Wow. I was not impressed with that. Alright. Looks like we got about 90 seconds to between bomb loads. 30 seconds left to bombs. A little better than I thought it would be. On that. Yeah, a little brush damage. And got some help here. Lovely. Alright. There's another tack center over here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the flaps. It's not like I have just whole lots of use for a let's see, it's a pose. You got one of the Spitfires up there, Mark 9. Sure liked that aircraft when I was flying it. Okay, it looks if we line up correctly, you can take out two of these mediums pretty quick. Let's go ahead and fit flaps, slow down. And I want to put it right on the third. And here. Get above the tree line. Alright, now playing around, let's see if we can use some rockets here. And that takes care of that. Get rid of those flaps, use some of this good boost we saved up. And I need to find there's the other mining base. Let's go ahead and go take care of that. Oh, that's a cutlass. Oh, I've never seen one of those before. Ah.
About rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Yeah, I just hate when I do stuff like that. Take a look and see where the bases are. Okay. Yes. Alright, we're going to try to run right in on the mining base.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over. Way to go. Victory is close.
If I can capture this, it looks like we can lock this up. Go ahead and hit flaps, slow down. I want to try to take out the big plant with 2 bombs. Wish me luck. We may need it here. Alright. Come around and see if we can't tidy up a little bit with some rockets. Now, we've obviously left something behind. And you've heard me say it before, if you do not get everything in a square, you've done nothing. Okay? I'm hoping that these tanks have taken some damage. There we go. I went into the tanks. Not that I've done that before. I'm not lying, really. See what we can't do while we're waiting for some bombs to come back. Yeah, we won. Okay, so where are we sitting at? Well, we destroyed 6 ground targets to 61, 228. We captured, I was destroyed once. Captured 2 sectors. One of them was a mining base, however. That helped. Gentlemen, we have a winner right out of the gate. This has been, even in the one that we lost, we actually certainly did our part, but yeah, when they capture bases right after you leave them, there's not a whole heck of what you can do about it. This is more reflective. The groups seem to have matched up better. Team score. Oh, that guy did a good job. But he didn't capture enough bases. Okay, so he can't, I don't think. But in any case, this is going to be a very fun aircraft. It is quick. It maneuvers well. It maneuvers far better than the IL-20 that you're so used to seeing me use. It has more than enough ordnance to get the job done, and that's going to do nothing but get better with the bigger rockets. And it's not bad with the rockets it has. You may quickly discover that I prefer using bombs to rockets, but the rockets aren't bad. And the bombs are spectacular at 1,000 pounds apiece. Actually, a little more than that, 1,100 pounds apiece. 500 kilo bombs. So they do a lot of damage. He knows I didn't have to do a whole lot to finish taking out the center of the mining base. 4 rockets pretty much finished it off, and then a little cannon work got the last 2 tanks. That's pretty good. Again, you would have wished that a few more ground attack aircraft had come along with me on that. But, you know, I can't really make other people do what I want them to do, right? Okay, so there you go. 1 victory, 1 loss. In both cases, we racked up quite a few points, and the aircraft performs very well. And I think you'll have one hell of a good time with it. I would urge you to get it. This has been a lot of fun. Again, please like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for flying the very unfriendly skies with Tironan.